I just got in off the water and I'm catching them on a jerk bait. So this is a great question. Perfect timing. Question is from Sean Streer. He asks, what are your ideal conditions for a jerk bait and what setup would you use? Like I said, perfect timing. I'm going to hit the second part of that question first, which is what setup do I use? A lot of the 13 fishing combos I use for a lot of different things, a lot of crossover there. For a jerk bait, I use one. This is the only one that I throw. It's the only time when I throw a shorter rod, anything under 7 foot. This is a 6-7 medium. This happens to be an Omen, but I like Omens and the Envy. Envy has a same model 6-7 medium. It's got a little more tip, a faster tip, and a little bit more backbone. The Omen is more moderate. So with the normal size jerk baits, I'm throwing this rod. With the deeper ones, like this X-Wrap, or the bigger ones, like this Storm Twitch stick, or some of the Husky jerks, I'll use the Envy. For the normal ones, I'll use the Omen, like I said. Love this rod and reel. I want a 6-7 because I want to be able to jerk that rod straight up and down, without the rod tip hitting the water all the time. So 6-7 is perfect for me. If you're taller, maybe a 7-foot would be better, or a 6-foot, but a medium action is the key. Reels, you need a good quality reel. A lot of times you're throwing into the wind and it's a hard bait to cast into the wind. Well, the X-Wrap's not, but most jerk baits are. So you want a good quality reel. Concept A, Concept C like this one, Concept E, or maybe your wife bought you a KP for Christmas or your birthday. You deserve it. Any of the reels, just a good quality reel. But 7-3 to 1 gear ratio is important to me. I want to be able to pick up the slack. A lot of times where I live, we're fishing for smallmouth and they tend to jump and run right at you. And, I just use a 7-3 to 1 for everything. So that's what I like. As far as my ideal conditions, that's a loaded question. I really like the, the pre-spawn. Water temperature starts to get into 50s, even colder than that. But, that range, pre-spawn, that's when you catch the biggest fish of the year on a jerk bait. I really like throwing it then. I like, a lot of times it's bad weather. I tend to fish it when it's windy and rainy and nasty. That's when you get a lot of really good bites. But I also like to fish it when it's dead flat calm. It's neat to feel those bites, when you're fishing it real slow at that time of the year and pausing it and you get to see that line twitch, on those big spotted bass or whatever. So spring, before the spawn, and then again cold weather in the fall. I just got in from fishing, catching them, like I said, today on a jerk bait, and there's leaves in my boat. It's a great time to fish. It's the same thing. These jerk baits really imitate a bait fish better than anything else in the water. And, it's all about matching the hatch. So in the spring, when their days are getting longer and the sun's out, those fish tend to come up to the surface. The bait fish and the bass aren't far behind them. And then again in the fall, like right now, the shad are coming up. We got emerald shiners here that are also getting shallow, and bait fish are moving into the backs of the creeks, and you just can't beat a jerk bait in those 2 times of the year. The only other time I would say, that I throw it is maybe, in the middle of summer. A lot of people aren't thinking about it. In a high pressure situation or a tournament, where it's tough, where I can get one more bite and pull out a jerk bait when no one else is throwing one. And a lot of times that works. It's over the years, it's won me a lot of money. So those are some tricks that I do with the jerk bait and my setup. And I hope this answers your question. Congratulations.